are any of these Cubs like a potential option that could be a safe buy? Hello, guys, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always got something to say about the Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today we're going to give you a little bit of update on what's been happening amongst the MLB, free agents and trade rumors. We want to see kind of like where are we at as Jay fans and where are the other teams at in terms of acquiring new players.
Yeah, like just in general, like what is going on right now? Because there's been rumors flying about everything. There's been some big names, some smaller stuff going on, but literally nothing actually happening. So like we're gonna break them down, talk about like how much merit we kind of think each of these things have, and like kind of the likelihood of that potentially going down.
We know you guys are like stir crazy. I'm stir crazy trying to figure out who's going where and like just come on, let's make some deals.
Seriously, make some freaking deals. Before we get into it,
I was just pointing. I was assisting you on that.
Nice. Yeah, we get that going. Like I'll talk, you get the movement going.
It's like before we get into it.
Yeah. Before we get into it, though, wait, one more time. Sync it up.
1, 2.
Before we get into it, though, guys, make sure to check us out on all the various platforms. Like, subscribe, comment down below. You know the drill. Patreon, always a thing. Instagram, always a thing, too. All right.
Yeah.
Let's just break right into this. I have literally zero notes right now. So this is going to be a very casual chat talking. Because a lot of these things, guys, I want to preface this by saying probably 90% of this stuff won't happen. That's just...
maybe not.
Maybe not. But like the likelihood of how many times have we heard different things about different people and the narrative change and everything like that.
That's why these rumors this year have been very clustered. Like it's like all these players are like they're down to like it's like 4 teams could be interested. Oh, this guy talked to that guy, and it's like okay, now we're getting an idea of what could happen.
Yeah. Okay, don't get me wrong. Like, will DJ LeMahieu sign? Yes, he's gonna sign somewhere.
But to where?
You want to talk about that first?
Let's go into that. So obviously we've said before on this Blue Jays podcast that DJ could be a legitimate option for us, and we're still eyeing him. However, DJ LeMahieu hasn't really reciprocated anything in return.
Well, he said that he wants to stay in New York.
In New York,
yeah.
Now, whether that be Yankees or the Mets have had a huge interest in DJ LeMahieu. The Mets are on the market to make a big splash like the Jays are.
Yeah.
And DJ LeMahieu to the Mets could very well be an option.
Well, if he is going to limit himself to, only staying in and around New York, then the options get very limited. And the Mets, like you said, are looking to make a splash. They had a recent turnover of, ownership and management and stuff like that. And it seems like, a whole new wave of thinking is now like taking over these guys, because the Mets are actually involved in not only DJ LeMahieu, but in like trading for Lindor, involved in potentially getting Bauer. They're kind of just all over the place right now. Like just throwing darts, sticking their hands into places where it doesn't belong, and the Blue Jays are like, no, like this is our honey pot over here.
Honestly, because like if I were the Mets, because you look at their 2019 year and like they were contenders, and they fell short, and then they go into this year and they don't even make playoffs at all in an expanded year. I'm gonna now it's a new management, but if I'm the Mets, I'm now going to start going, like, I'm going to start shooting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I still got young players. I still got crazy good pitchers. Like, Mets, like, if you actually want to make a move, this is the time. Like, you have pieces, so start shooting your shots. And, like you said, like, Lindor, Bauer.
Real Muto
and Arenado as well.
Yeah,
like,
Arenado.
There's been a rumor surfacing around like Arenado, like the Rockies, because he's on his last year, and like the Rockies potentially shipping off Arenado, which obviously from a Blue Jay perspective seems pretty good.
Well, I don't understand. Like, obviously there has been problems there when that, like, not on the field, but off the field personal relationships. And for as long as, I have been a very solid baseball fan, not just Blue Jays, but like all of the league, basically, I've heard that the Rockies don't like Arenado. Arenado does not like the Rockies. Like, there has been some sort of beef going on right now.
Right.
And yeah, he's on the final year of his contract. This isn't the first time that we heard about potentially shipping Arenado. We heard about this stuff happening a year ago. Literally last year, they were talking about maybe shipping him off. So if I'm the Rockies right now, trading Arenado seems like an excellent option.
Yeah, and especially because your team, like, it's just not working. Like, look, you have your offense. We've always said, like, I really love their offense.
Any offense where you have, you got Charlie Blackmon, Trevor Story, Arenado. You had Daniel Murphy come in, who has struggled nonetheless, but still he came in. You had David Dahl, who just needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like, we were always like, that can work. Like, it can definitely happen. And their pitching just hasn't been there. They're not complete right now.
Yeah.
But Arenado can fetch a hefty price.
Oh God, yeah. And it's like, exactly, he can really command. And one team that's kind of like in the center of like who would get Arenado, and it pains me, but it's the LA Dodgers. And the reason why it pains me is because they just won a World Series, and now it's like, oh, we're going to lose Justin Turner. I thought them losing Justin Turner, I'm like, you're in a pickle now. Oh, wait, let's just upgrade for one of the best third basemen in the entire league. And I'm going to say it, I think Arenado's the best third baseman in the entire league. Defensively, offensively, I think so too. Last year, down year, but what was last year? I think Arenado's still one of the best third basemen in the league.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually saw like a list the other day. This was just by someone on Instagram. I wish I could show you out. I'm so sorry, but they did not put Arenado on their top 5 list
for third
baseman, and it was. I just thought that was so completely abhorrent and ridiculous.
It's like tunnel vision. It's like you're just focusing on 2020. It's
there's always been a narrative. It's like, oh, like this guy is like you take him out of Coors Field, like he won't do as good. And I remember looking at the splits, and it's like, okay, the difference between being at Coors Field and not being at Coors Field is like, a 310 batting average to like a 295.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what? He's pretty bad. He hit 295.
Yeah, and exactly. Like, sure, maybe Coors, like. Yeah, you're higher up in elevation, and it's like, okay, your ball travels farther, but like whatever. Like, seriously,
the
I'm tired of
Dodgers
that.
with Arenado would be filthy.
The Dodgers with Arenado will be filthy.
It'd be, like you said, oh, they're gonna lose Turner, like they're gonna be in a pickle. Like I didn't think that at all. I thought they're gonna be
not like a pickle, like, oh, we're not gonna win again, but it's like, you're losing a piece. And Turner's was the third hitter of the Dodgers for their entire run, like their entire season. So it's, you're losing a piece, and it's like, and again, in baseball, one piece doesn't matter, but you're literally upgrading if you're getting Arenado.
Completely agree. What's really crazy to me is like, actually think about that. If they got Arenado, okay, so they just traded for a monstrous player on a 1-year deal. Have we not seen this movie before?
Oh yeah.
Didn't we see this exact same thing happen with a monstrous outfield player literally a year ago?
Like, I don't even know. Do they even have I always think they don't have the money. Do they even have the money to sign Arenado to a big deal?
But I don't even know if they would if they got him.
Right.
Because if I'm the Dodgers right now, I'm thinking, holy crap, like we just won the World Series. Our team is still super duper dominant right now. We are losing a nice third baseman. Why don't we just take another shot, upgrade at third base for a year, and try to win back to back?
Yeah, I mean, I'd want to. Actually, you know who Arenado reminded me of, and it's Paul Molitor. He for the Jays when he won in '92, or when the Jays won in '92. What they do? They go and acquire Molitor, and now, granted, he was a free agent. They didn't trade for him, but still a thing. You get this guy. You get this guy to win another World Series, and they did.
Well, and I think that's, like, if I'm the Dodgers right now, like, I'm not even necessarily concerned about long-term thinking right now. Like, we're in the window. We're here. We're here. We're gonna be here for probably another, like, as long as Clayton Kershaw is good, I think that they will be in the window.
Yeah. They need them.
He is 30 now, 31 or something like that,
yes,
I believe.
Something like that.
So he's starting to age. I would just buy in again with Nolan Arenado, have the most dominant lineup there is in baseball. Like, that would be filthy with Arenado and Betts and Seager and Bellinger and Muncy. Way too much for any other team to even compete with.
Kershaw is 32. Like, he's still has time for a pitcher.
Exactly. Still has a lot of time left. But, you want to cash in right now. You want to cash in while he's still performing at an elite level. Yeah. And there's no reason, if I'm the Dodgers, for me to wait. And let's face it, if they get an Arenado, like...
Oh, gosh. I would say they're number one now.
Well, they're already number one. They're number one right now. But it's as if, like, they're number one. But if they get Arenado, it's like they're number one, and then, like, a drop, like, there's a cliff.
There's a cliff.
It's like they're number one right now with, like, a steep hill. They get Arenado, it's a fucking mountain.
Yeah, seriously. So... And there you go, like, guys, like, freaking, like, because as a Blue Jay fan, we were talking, like, wow, I just love, like, being a Blue Jay fan and, like, just dreaming. And, like, every time we make videos or we make posts on, like, Instagram or even Facebook, everyone's like, keep dreaming, guys. Every time we're like, can we get DJ? Can we get Bauer? Keep dreaming. And it's like, okay, I know we're a Canadian team. We're out at, like, no American player wants to just come and play for Toronto, like, unless they have to. And, like I think about all the players that we got in the last decade, and, like, we ended up trading for these guys. We didn't sign these guys. We traded for all of our players.
Quite often.
It's like the only one we signed was Ryu, and Ryu's not even from America. So, of course, it doesn't matter to him where he plays.
Okay, with that being said, like, what's the likelihood of us getting Arenado?
Not likely. I'd say maybe 5% chance.
Yeah, like, I personally, dude, I don't know why we're not in this conversation more. Like, if we're willing to be going after Lindor, like, okay, I get it. Like, the management is familiar with him. Like, we have a good relationship with him and a good rapport.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're not. Maybe they are, and we just haven't heard anything yet because, like, the chance is so small. Mm-hmm. But why aren't we potentially trying to shoot our shot at Nolan?
I don't know. And maybe the management's too tied up trying to do other things. Maybe they didn't plan on getting Nolan. Maybe it doesn't work for their contracts. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, like, yeah, like you said, it's either like you got to have a situation where someone wants to come play for us, or you got to know the management, or you got to know a player. It's like we're like that, like, outside group looking into the States. It's like, hey, like, you guys hear about us over here in Canada?
Yeah,
come on,
I mean, of course.
Come on, like, go play for us.
But from, like, I ask you, we're still in the Lindor conversation. Mm-hmm. Would you rather have Lindor or Arenado for our team fit?
Team fit, I'd rather have Arenado.
Me too.
But it's like,
me too.
Management hasn't done anything yet, and I can't explain it. There's got to be other factors that.
Yeah, because like we're talking about chipping away like crazy packages for Lindor. I'm much more inclined to do that for Nolan Arenado. Granted, he's a little bit older, but who cares? This guy is still very elite. He is literally the position that we're trying to target right now. Yeah. He would fill the need.
I'd want to lock down Arenado for like a.
I would be very, very happy to get Arenado locked down for a long period of time. How
many years would you want him for?
Well, I mean, realistically, like I'd be fine to have Nolan Arenado until he's just done. Right. Like, I think he's 29, I believe, right now, and for his entire career has been insane. Yeah. Like, I think we were looking at his stats and his like just defensively speaking, like something like. It's just ridiculous. I'm gonna do it a misjudged justice, but it's like like 6 Gold Gloves and like All Stars and like like Silver Sluggers, and it's just like ridiculousness, So yeah, like I obviously really really like him, and he would probably want a long-term deal, and I'd be happy to give him like a 6-year deal, honestly, if it came down to that.
Yeah, that's true. 6 year. I'd go like just because I'm worried about like limiting some of our like other players, like other prospects and stuff. I'd go like 3 to 4, and like 6 I could see happening. But yeah, I'd say somewhere around that. Let's see what other news we got here. I mean, Angels are interested in J.A. Happ. That's one player that we wanted. So I mean,
yeah.
Oh boy,
it's not taking you anywhere, Angels. Like,
38 years old, 37 years old.
Is he actually?
Yeah, I think there was a report where he's like 38.
Boy. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to J.A. Happ. Like, obviously, he's got a history with us and everything. But I think I do believe that his best baseball is behind him at this point in his career. So,
another thing is, I totally agree. the Cubs are blowing up their team potentially.
Mm.
No confirm, but if that happens, there's another third baseman out there.
There is another third baseman out there with, I believe, far more questions associated with him than Arenado, obviously.
But a third baseman with outfield eligibility?
A third baseman nonetheless. I need to refamiliarize myself with Chris Bryant's, overall stats, but I think the general consensus, and I believe I agree with this, is that he has been having a rough time in the last 2-3 years, or he has been in a
from his
decline,
rookie season. He hasn't been himself back in 2016. So, but I mean, I would love to take a shot. I mean. If we could sign him back, though, that's the thing. Is if they're gonna blow up, these are all the guys on their 1-year contracts, and it's Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, Anthony Rizzo, and Schwarber. Mm-hmm. So they're all 1-year deals, and if those guys are gonna be traded, it's gonna be for teams contending now, because those guys are all gonna want contracts in free agency, and the Cubs know they can't sign them all back.
No,
so it would be a good time for them to blow up, and I mean. Again, we're still in this weird place. We'll have to see how the 2021 season plays out, but we're in this place where are we going to try and go for it and buy another piece? Because when we bought in this year, it was like a safe buy. It was these guys can help us, but not make an influential difference.
And I'm going to be honest, I suppose we were buying in, but I don't even know if what we did is necessarily called buying in. I guess I looked at it more as well, we're going to make playoffs, we need some sort of anything. It's we were readying up or something.
Yeah.
I guess it's buying in. But
it's buying in safely is what I said. It's we're not spending too much, but we're also not saying, hey, we're not giving up here. We're going to try.
Agreed.
And I like that. It's you might say it's you're 50-50, but our team's also half in, half out, right?
It's not 50-50 if you're that's just intelligent in my mind what we did. We were, based on the record, going to make postseason, but barely. Barely, and by looking at the team, you're okay, would love to see it happen, but it's probably not going to happen. Because we'll give yourself a chance.
Because the thing is, I remember in 2015, we were I think we ended after the All-Star break, we were 50-51 was our record, and it's you look at that and you're oh, you're kind of where the Blue Jays were, this year. It's you're in the middle, what's going on? But they bought the hell in. Getting Cameron Nelson players, Price, Tulowitzki, Ben Revere, and all these bench pieces, all these crazy elite players. Hoskins, is that his name? Really good reliever, really good relievers. Oh my God, we bought the hell in. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we ended up the season going 43 and 19, and then made postseason, beat the Yankees, and so it's that's buying the hell in. But also that blew up our team for the next few years.
And let's not forget, they were in a much, much different place than we were. Yeah. Considering that, a lot of their core pieces were a bit older with, contracts coming up and stuff like that. Whereas for us, it's I can watch the game. I can put on the eye test and I can realize this is not a World Series team yet.
Yeah.
Maybe in a bit. I have to ask you, though, you're talking about buying in safely and everything like that. Are any of these Cubs a potential option that could be a safe buy? Because, I don't know. It sounds to me that they're going to be reasonably expensive.
I think probably the safest buy would be Schwarber. I know that Bryant, Baez, and Rizzo are all going to cost. Schwarber would be obviously the fourth man, but he's still good.
Actually, to be honest, I think out of all of those guys, would like Schwarber the best.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Even Rizzo?
I mean, I do like Rizzo a lot too, but I think he's going to cost a lot more.
He's going to cost a lot, yeah.
Considering that Schwarber, I'm actually just pulling up his stats right now. He had a pretty down year last year, but the man has elite power.
Yeah. And here's the thing, the reason why I say that too is because obviously Rizzo, Baez, and Bryant are going to clog up the infield a bit. Bryant may be the other option, but it depends on how well he's doing next year and how much he's going to cost. But Schwarber's an outfielder, and like we said, if we don't get an outfielder this season, then I think Schwarber could be a great option if you're trying to find some more help. in that position. So I would say that would be my go for. And that would be the safe. Hopefully, it wouldn't cost too much. It all depends on how they're doing going into 2021.
Right. Well, would we trade for these people though, like before the season starts or during the season? Because
that's the question. It's like if they're gonna blow up, do the Cubs want to see? Because like if Brian had a down year and Schwarber had a down year, are they gonna let them play in order to get more value?
That's the thing. You're rolling the dice a bit. Schwarber, he batted, I'm looking at it right now, last year 188.
Yeah.
But he still had 11 home runs. So what if you're the Cubs right now, like, yeah, you're probably selling, you're going to have to sell at a bit of a discount.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do let him play and then he bats 188 again, it's like he's almost worth nothing now.
Right. And, that's the question. Well, you could probably, and that's the thing, he would then become like a safe trade. Like it's like a VR or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's like, but also, Schwarber, it's a piece regardless. It's like the damage has already been done looking at 2020, but if you let him play, maybe he hits 220. It's like, okay. And then he hits still in the same rate of power of like home runs. It's like, okay, yeah. Then he increases his value a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think right now, if the Cubs were to trade before the season, I think you could trade Baez and Rizzo like easily. I think their value is still very high. Bryant is probably not as high just because of the struggles. Baez struggled a little bit last year, but I think his defensive and the need for shortstops right now, like the Lindor craze, is probably going to be a little bit higher. But yeah, I think Schwarber would just be the fourth option for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are a lot of options there on Chicago. I don't know how interested I am in those guys, but I'm interested to see what the Cubs do, and I haven't seen any proposed offers or anything like that. So if
rumors.
Yeah, like if they're not asking for that much, for a Chris Bryant, okay, I'm ready to take a shot, and who knows, maybe he does do really well, and we can get him for a long-term deal or something like that.
I agree.
I don't know,
Yeah, I agree. I would love that. And I guess the only other news left, and we don't have to dwell on too long, but the Nationals are apparently in the mix for people. Like all of a sudden in the last week, they're like, we want Bryant, we want LeMahieu, we want GT Realmuto. I'm like, whoa! You guys came like last year.
Yeah.
But I guess they still got a good pitching core, and they have Juan Soto, and they still have Justin Turner. So I guess that makes sense.
Justin Turner.
Oh, sorry. I mixed up their names. Turner. Oh no. Trey Turner. That's his name.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. They do have Trey Turner. I'm interested. That's very interesting to me that what the Nationals are doing. Like, I actually kind of predicted. Well, I didn't predict, but I thought maybe the Nationals might be trying to sell a piece or two,
right?
Like a Max Scherzer, for instance, being on his last year of his contract,
right?
And he could fetch an incredible price, I think, from any team.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it looks like they really want to buy in rather than do that.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at like the NL East, and like. You have the Braves, but it's also like up, there's a lot of people fighting. Like the Mets are trying to grab that like second spot, and then the Phillies have been kind of like they're still in the mix in my opinion, in our opinion, but like they haven't really shown anything. And then you got them, and like they're trying to reach it. And Miami's in there for some reason, so like that whole division is just like reaching, trying to be the number 2 of that division. And honestly, the Nationals are just 1 year removed from a World Series title. The only piece that's different for them is they lost. Anthony Rendon, but if they could acquire a DJ LeMahieu or a GT Realmuto, I mean, who's to say that they're not going to compete again?
Potentially, yeah. They need Strasburg to be healthy. They need a better version of Patrick Corbin
and Scherzer to come back and Max Scherzer
do what Mad Max does.
Yeah,
all these things going around, bro. Like. When are we going to get this?
Well, in December 2nd, I know there's like another wave of like contracts that like are optionable to be extended or not.
Oh, like offers
and stuff.
Okay.
So like I would start saying December, especially probably it's a little bit more delayed this year because there's like everyone's kind of obviously COVID. We all know what's happening.
Yeah.
and like money's a little bit reduced, and they're trying to find out their financial spending. So
I think people are trying to test the market right now and see with this reduced amount of money, like what is the market value looking like? Like how much are teams going to be willing to shell out?
Yeah, so I think that could be a big factor why it's taking a little bit longer. But yeah, so I would say like around Christmas time we'll have a few big deals probably.
Hopefully, buddy. It's been a rough period for baseball. Not a whole lot going on. So
just have rumors.
Yeah,
that's it. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think maybe? I mean, we always see for the Blue Jays is we're still eyeing DJ, but that's it, and Springer. And we'll see what happens. So what do you guys think? Who do you guys want out of this list, and who do you think is realistically going to go somewhere? Let us know in the comments down below.
Guys, make sure to check us out on Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. Also, our Instagram, always popping off. And please make sure to subscribe, like, comment.
All that jazz.
The whole shebang.
And send us money on Patreon.
Yes, please.
And thank you guys so much for watching.
Go Jays, go.